It's time for the Margin Matters Minute with Moneyman Jason Brown.
All right, welcome back to the Margin Matters Minute. My name is Jason Brown. Thank you so much for joining me today. Today we are talking about the issue of shipping delays and how it's greatly affecting eBayers like myself and how it is going to transform the online retail business. And I've been thinking about this topic for a while, especially over the last year with the pandemic and how things have dramatically changed with the shipping industry, especially USPS, which is the United States Postal Service. That's going to be specifically what I'm talking about in this video because that's my main source of shipping. So I saw an article in the Washington Post that really ruffled my feathers, and I wanted to share it with you guys. It's titled, "Postmaster General's New Plan for USPS is Said to Include Slower Mail and Higher Prices." Oh, that got my attention. A key provision to the Postmaster General's strategy includes banning air travel for all first-class mail at a time when delivery rates are at historic lows. So here is the article. I printed it out. I'll be referring to it in this video, and I will link this article to the description below if you want to read the entire thing yourself. But before we get into this, which is kind of talking about what's going to happen in the future with USPS and the shipping services, let's review a little bit about what's happened over the past year, especially in the shipping industry, as it's dramatically changed as a result of the pandemic, which has really greatly affected, eBayers like myself, and I'm sure you guys as well, if you guys are trying to ship things that you're selling online. So what's been happening? A whole bunch of things. I am what's known as a casual seller on eBay. I make a couple $1,000 a year selling stuff on eBay. I just do it for fun. It's a passion of mine. I'm not really getting rich off of it, but I do sell consistently on eBay, and I've been selling on eBay since 2005. So about 16 years now. So I've been doing this for a while. So I kind of have some knowledge of how things are changing, right? So this all started, I want to say I started noticing a shift about 6 months ago, right? So we're kind of in the thick of the pandemic. Things are changing. The USPS especially, and probably all the shipping services are going through the same stuff. Resources are down. Staffers are probably out getting COVID, people getting sick, having to take time off of work. So you have staffing issues, you have resourcing issues. And then what happened was last year was an election year in the United States, and because of the pandemic and because of COVID, the mail-in ballots were at an all-time high. So people were mailing in ballots as opposed to going to vote in person at a polling place. So that created an absolute flood of mail for the USPS to deal with on an already shoestring budget and shoestring staff. So they weren't able to handle that volume. And then, of course, so we had the election. And this is kind of what happened with USPS was this perfect storm of, craziness that caused all kind of issues. And it's still causing issues today. So you had the election with the mail-in ballots. Then you had, of course, that led into the holidays. So we had the Christmas season, everybody sending holiday packages, holiday gifts, gift cards, mail. So you had that influx of December mail with the holidays on top of, or actually right after the election, which I think, I think they're probably still counting ballots here in America, trying to get the numbers right. And then you had, of course, all during the same time is that the vaccines were finally ready for the COVID. So I know there's 2 or 3 companies now, I think, that have vaccines ready. So all those vaccines are having to be shipped and distributed and dispersed to different hospitals and different healthcare facilities all over the country. So now you have that on top of all of this. So it's a snowball effect, right? So you have the vaccine distribution, people trying to get the vaccines out everywhere, which is very important. All this stuff is vital, right? Get people feeling better, get people healthy, save people's lives, right? So then after that, the fourth thing that happened is now we're in the winter season, right? Now we're in January and February, and now we have all these major catastrophic winter storms that have caused massive power outages in states like Texas, which Texas was hit really hard. And of course, all the states in the Northeast, with just, I don't even know how many feet of snow they got. They're just buried in snow. So this caused major issues as well with shipping delays, which it does every year. Every year we see that whenever there's a winter storm or power outages, or sometimes in California they have the wildfire. So any type of natural disaster, of course, hurricanes and tornadoes in the south, any type of natural disasters are going to cause delays in any type of shipping services. So, but just over the last 4 months, it's just been this calamity of the perfect storm of just everything blowing up and causing all kind of major issues with USPS especially. So what's happened to me personally, I'll share a couple of quick stories of me just selling items on eBay. There's items that I've sold that either have never arrived and I've had to give refunds, or if they are arriving, they're arriving in 4 to 6 weeks, which is complete insanity. So a couple items specifically, I sold a book to a lady actually right here in Georgia. I could have gotten in my car and drove it to her. It would have taken me an hour to drive it to her. She's outside of Atlanta. I shipped the book, and the problem is people want their item right away. They want it within a few days. And if they don't have it, they're asking for a refund. So she, I think she sent me an email. It had already been a couple weeks, and says, I never got my book. I don't know what happened. I never received it. I want a refund. And I said, well, I looked at the tracking. It's on its way. I don't know what's going on. I shipped it. It's out of my hands. Unfortunately, it's in USPS's hands. So we're at the mercy of their shipping delays. So thankfully for me, that lady showed some patience, and she eventually got the book. But I want to say it was about 5 or 6 weeks it took to get to her, which is crazy. And then I had another item that I sold, some baby clothes to somebody, and that item I started tracking that. Now I never heard from this buyer. She didn't complain or anything or want her money back, but I was tracking it just to see how long it was going to take, and that took right at 4 weeks, which again, one little, it was like a little baby outfit. It wasn't like a big, heavy package or anything. So again, so this is what's going on, and I know a lot of eBayers are dealing with this, or Amazon, whatever your selling platform is. If you're shipping items out to customers, you're dealing with these issues, just like I am. So it's been terribly frustrating, especially for a small time, casual seller like myself, to deal with this, because I might sell, I probably sell maybe 4 items a month on average, something like that, right? And, if I sell 4 items and 2 of my items that I've sold, people want a refund because they never got it, or if it's taken too long to ship, that's really not worth my time, anymore to deal with. So it's been really frustrating as well. So one other story I'll share real quick. This is a non-eBay story. This is just a shipping story. I actually order allergy drops from my doctor, and they ship them to me, and I do the allergy drops at home. So this is medicine or medical. So they usually ship that to me, USPS certified mail, right? So I have to sign for it when they come to the door. They knock on the door. I have to sign the card to get the package. So as luck would have it, I had to renew that order in December, about 2 weeks before Christmas, and usually that takes, when it's shipped in the past, it would take 1 to 3 days, and I have it, and it's no problem. But this last time, I never got it. It was this huge wild goose chase. I had to go look. I was going to the USPS distribution offices and going to the postal office, trying to track down this package. Because what happened was, it said that it actually was delivered, which it wasn't. They had marked it as delivered. And, I never signed for it. It never came to our house. So that became a wild goose chase and a huge frustration point. I eventually found it. I tracked down the driver. It was on his truck. But again, it was just really a frustrating situation to deal with. So these are the type of things that are happening right now in the shipping industry that is terribly upsetting for a lot of people. So now let's get into the future, right? So we'll talk a little bit about this article that I was referencing earlier. with the Postmaster General's new plans of kind of changing the USPS's business model, which I think you guys are going to want to really pay attention to very closely if you haven't already. Big changes appear to be coming in 2021 for USPS. And if you use USPS to ship out your eBay items, you want to take account for this and prepare yourself the best that you can. So I'm going to be referring to this article and just kind of regurgitating some of the quotes in here just to share with you guys. So basically what it's talking about is the Postmaster General. He wants to kind of change the way that first class is going to be shipped out. So he says, in the article, it says, of course, first class mail is already struggling, which, whoa, what a surprise. We didn't know that. But here's what's interesting. It says this is really bad, actually. Only 38% of delivered mail was delivered on time at the end of 2020. And they're referring to first class mail there. And then it says customers have reported bills being held up, as well as holiday cards and packages that are still in transit. So, yeah. Pay attention to that. It's almost March, and people are still getting holiday cards and holiday packages that they were supposed to get in December. So that is very interesting, and too bad, actually. So then it says, while the changes are not expected to have a significant impact on local service, they are saying that this will impact commercial mailers, including banks, insurers, retailers, so retailers meaning us eBayers, and publications, worried they may aggravate existing slowdowns for non-local mail. So they're saying, and right here is what they're saying, is local mail should not really be affected. So if you're shipping, if you have local buyers that you're shipping stuff to, you shouldn't really see an issue. It's really the non-local, which is probably the majority of our sales is going to go out of town. So that's going to be the problem. So this is also interesting. The plan also prevents first-class mail from being shipped by airplane, forcing all of it into trucks and a relay of distribution depots. So what's going to happen is what they want to do, or what they're proposing, I guess I should say, is they don't want to ship first-class mail on airplanes anymore because I guess it's because of the cost, right? It's costing too much money to do this. They want to put all the mail onto trucks and just truck them across the country or wherever it needs to go. And obviously, that might be cheaper, but it's going to be a lot longer. So it'll be cheaper for the USPS, not cheaper for you, because they're going to raise your prices. So that's the thing. So here it says the operational shifts would coincide with a push for significantly higher postage rates. And then this part is really interesting. I want to point out. It says the pandemic-related declines in mail volume. So it's talking about in 2020, the USPS lost $9.2 billion because there was a decline in mail volume, which is really interesting because we would not really see that in the last 6 months with all the things that I just cited. It seemed like the volume was out of control with the election mail-in ballots and the holidays and the vaccines now, all that stuff. So that was an interesting point. So then it goes on to say, in 2021, the USPS is expected to pursue the first big postage rate increase in more than a decade, which could add up to a 9% jump compounded annually. So again, we need to plan for this. We need to prepare for this. If you're an eBayer, if you charge shipping costs or however you handle your shipping costs, this is going to greatly impact your selling strategy on eBay. So those are some of the highlights of the article. The rest of it, I printed this out. It's about 4 pages. The last 3 pages are just all political, right? Because the whole issue with USPS has become politicized, unfortunately. And the rest of the article is all political garbage, in my opinion. So if you want to read that, you can click on the link in the description below if you're into the politics of mailing a package, because that's unfortunately taking place as well. So But for us, like for me, so for me personally, I ship all my items. I offer free shipping, right? So, and I don't add the shipping cost to the cost of the item. I offer free shipping to try to incite or incentivize. I try to incentivize the buyer, give the buyer a break. Hey, I'm going to offer you this item. I'm going to give you free shipping. You're not going to have to worry about it. So these are things that I'm going to have to take into account if the shipping prices are going to start going up, and then it's going to take twice as long to ship something to somebody. These are things that we need to really think about. How are we going to handle this? What's our new strategy going to be? Maybe I might have to start charging a little bit of shipping, or add a little bit extra cost to the item to cover for this. So these are some things that I've been thinking about, and I just wanted to share with you guys. Hopefully, this brings awareness to the situation. And I was pretty shocked when I saw that headline. I knew that those things were happening, but this was pretty telling. So I hope you'll click on the article and read it for yourself and educate yourself on what's going on, especially with the USPS here in America. So until next time, this is Jason Brown saying thank you so much for watching. And oh, by the way, I did do another eBay video, a longer form video on the challenges of how much more difficult it is to sell now on eBay. So I'll link that in the description below as well if you want to check that out, where I also talk about some of the shipping challenges in that video too. So again, thanks so much for your support. You can check out my website, yourmarginmatters.com, if you want to learn more about me, or read some of my blogs, or learn about my book, Margin Matters, that I have for sale as well. So until next time, this is Jason Brown saying to remember, it's not the amount of money you make, but the margin that matters the most. See you next time.